What's up, y'all? Welcome to Get Locked In, and today I want to talk to you guys about my 1-year transformation and how calisthenics has changed my life. Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a background story, pretty much. So, growing up, all I really cared about was basketball. All I cared about was hooping. All I cared about was just getting buckets and trying to make the league. But obviously, that didn't happen, right? So, around the time of last year, I started getting into working out. And obviously, the time last year was the same time of the pandemic. And so when the pandemic occurred, it was just harder to go to the gyms. Gyms were closed. And pretty much I just decided, hey, I want to start getting a little bit bigger. So I started watching a lot of YouTubers such as, How to Beast. I watched a lot of Dunham. I watched a lot of Sean G, obviously. But pretty much I just wanted to get fit. So I decided to go on a bulk, right? So pretty much during this bulk, I ate whatever I wanted, okay? I didn't really track my calories. I just know I had to be in a caloric surplus for me to gain weight and get a lot bigger. So I did that pretty much. I also worked out, of course, but I wasn't doing any cardio. I wasn't even doing any calisthenics. I was doing strictly weight training. Now, I'm gonna show you guys a picture of what I looked like around mid-April right here. And it just did not feel good, honestly. Like, yeah, I saw a little bit of improvement from like how I was when I was playing basketball. Like when I played basketball, I was just scrawny pretty much. But I had gained muscle, but I had gained a lot of body fat with that. So I wanted to change that, obviously. So this is when I started getting into calisthenics. So the way I got into calisthenics is pretty much the same way that I got into weight training. Straight up just YouTube videos. And as I was watching these YouTube videos, it just amazed me the way people were doing these body weight exercises, how they could just, do a muscle up. That was so impressive to me. And obviously, when I met up with Sean G in Atlanta to do those videos, it was honestly inspiring to see someone at his age, knocking out pull-ups easy, It was me, my brother, and someone else. Shout out to Tony, Healthy Holistic Calisthenics 94. Subscribe to him. But we were all just working out, and honestly, Sean G was the most conditioned out of all of us. So for me to see that, I was like, man, there's something different in calisthenics than in weight training, in my opinion. So that's what really kick-started this journey of my 1-year transformation. So I pretty much knew what I had to do. I knew I had to lose the weight for me to be able to start gaining a lot more strength in calisthenics. So that's exactly what I did. And as I was doing this, I was working on my pull-ups, I was working on my push-ups, and all I really cared about was the reps at that point. I didn't care about trying to do a muscle-up or a planche or all these static movements that are like advanced or intermediate. All I cared about was reps at that time. So I was knocking out a lot of reps as far as calisthenics. I wasn't doing any weighted calisthenics maybe for the first 2 months, but then as time went on, things started to change. My goals started to change. I wanted to learn how to do a muscle up, all right? And you guys kind of saw it in the channel. At the beginning when I started this channel, I couldn't do a muscle up. But then as time went on, I was able to swing my way into one and just power my way through. Now when I can do a muscle up, I can't do a strict one, but they're a lot cleaner than before. And I also wanted to learn the front lever. And obviously that's an ongoing process still, but I've gotten a lot better at it too. So my goals started to change. I wasn't just worried about the reps, and I also added weighted calisthenics into my training. Now this is what changed everything, honestly, because I feel like weighted calisthenics gives someone the effect that they're bigger when they're really not. I'm 155, honestly, and I don't feel like I look 155. I might look like 160, maybe 163, around that area. But to be honest, I feel like that really gave me a lot of strength in my pull-ups and my push-ups and my dips. And I pretty much, the way I use weighted calisthenics is that I would use a heavy weight, hit around 4 reps and then drop set until I get to my body weight. It's just brings a different element to your workout pretty much. So I feel like that really helped me as far as my calisthenics. Now I want to talk about 3 things that have to be done in order for you to make a transformation like the one I just did, all right? So the first step that you have to do in order to see a transformation like this is you have to work hard. At the end of the day, you can't cheat the process. You can't just, half-ass the work. You got to really put in the time and effort for you to see the results that you want to see. Because I wanted to change. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. I wanted to see a different physique and a different me. I wanted to be able to do these calisthenic moves. I wanted to learn to muscle up. I wanted to, hold a front lever. So I continue working at it, and I'm still working at some of those goals, and I'm working hard for it. I'm not over here just like, once a week, maybe 2 times. Like, no, you got to do it every single day if you really want to see the results. So the second step is that you have to be on point with your diet. Now, if you're in a calorie surplus, it's going to be a lot harder for you to gain a lot of that body weight strength, because if you continue eating more and more and more, then it's going to weigh you down, especially if you're adding weighted calisthenics. You're just adding more weight over time. Now, what I did is I was at a calorie surplus, so I lost a lot of that weight. At one point, I think in mid-April of 2020, I was 175. Now I'm at 155, so I lost a whole 20 pounds. And you just got to make sure that you're eating the proper amounts of protein. You got to make sure that you're at a calorie deficit if you have to be, or maintain the weight that you're at, and pretty much just gain muscle with the amount of protein that you're eating in your diet. Because, like I said, if your diet is not on point, you will not see results, and you will not progress in your goals. Now, the final step that you have to follow in order to see a transformation like this is be consistent. Now, you might think, working hard and consistency kind of goes head in head and it's the same thing. It's not. Because if you're not consistent with your work, if you just work hard for one day and you're like, oh, maybe I'm gonna take, 2 days off, or, I'll do it tomorrow, that's not the consistency that you need to be in when you want to see results like this. So you have to stay consistent, stay focused, be determined. And this is a goal that you want, then you're willing to fight for it, and you're willing to really put it all on the line. So this is pretty much how calisthenics has changed my life. I continue to train today, and I plan on continuing like almost for the rest of my life pretty much. I just feel like it's something so much different than weight training, and I still do weight training. I'm not, dissing anyone who likes to, power lift or anything like that. I respect a lot of those people, but I'm just saying, for me, I like being on the bar. Sometimes I like going outside, hitting a workout. I like doing it in the gym even. I just like feeling strong with my body weight, and even with weighted calisthenics. Regardless, it just makes me feel good. It makes me feel, like I'm really gaining a lot of strength. And that's another thing too. If calisthenics is not your thing, then that's okay. Do something that you enjoy, whether that's running. If you like running, do that. If you like bike riding, if you like basketball, if you like, just lifting weights, that's totally fine. Just find something that gets you moving. Make sure your diet's on point, make sure you work hard, and make sure you're consistent with it, all right? So that is my 1-year transformation, and that is how calisthenics has changed my life. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to get locked in, y'all. Peace.